Here we go for week 33 of our reading. Now we're going to be jumping through some different books. So we finished the book of Jeremiah, we're in Lamentations, and then we begin the book of Ezekiel. Now, if you made your way through the book of Jeremiah, I want to congratulate you. This is actually the longest book in the entire Bible. Now the book of Psalms has the most chapters, but the book of Jeremiah is the longest. So way to go if you made your way through that. Now, when we go to the book of Lamentations, as we finish Jeremiah, we almost may need like a little bit of a breather, right? But we are not going to get that. It is actually a very sad book. And what is taking place here is that many scholars believe that Jeremiah wrote the book of Lamentations, and he is writing about the destruction that the Babylonians have inflicted on the tribe of Judah. So again, it's a very somber book. Now, one of the things that I would encourage you to do as you read through the book of Lamentations is as best you can to put yourself in that setting. And so what I mean by that, and again, this is doesn't make for light reading, but think about some of the wars and destruction that we've seen maybe in our own life or on videos. So, for example, I really like to watch World War II documentaries. Now, one of the things about this is so sad. It's just the destruction that you see in different parts of the world, just buildings that are destroyed and people that were hurt and starving. We think of the Holocaust, for example. I think in my own lifetime of 9/11 and just the destruction that you saw with the World Trade Towers. And so I say that to try to put yourself in that setting as best we can, because this really helps us see the heart of Jeremiah. The pain, the anguish that he and the people were going through. And we see just the devastating effects of sin. Now, also in our reading, we move to the book of Ezekiel. Now, let me provide a little bit of the setting here, because again, when we read through these different prophets, it's kind of confusing. Okay, what time period did they live in? Who are they speaking to? These different things. Now, let's remember our timeline with this tribe of Judah. So the Babylonians come in 605, 597, and 586. Now in 586, this is when the city is totally destroyed, the walls are broken down, the temple is destroyed. But in 597, some of the people were taken into exile. And Ezekiel was part of that group that was taken away in 597. And so as the book of Ezekiel opens up, the time period is 593, and he sees this vision from the Lord. Now we'll get more into the book of Ezekiel over the next few videos, but I want to call your attention to this vision, because there's some really kind of crazy explanations of what is taking place here. Now, when I was in high school, one day I found myself in the library. Why I was there, I cannot remember. I think I had a novels class or like a short story class, something like that. And I believe we were told to pick out some books and read it for some coursework. So I'm looking through the library and I see this book on UFO and aliens. Now you thought it was going to be some, great novel or some deep academic book. No, I see this book on UFOs and aliens, but what caught my attention is that it was tied to the vision of Ezekiel. Now I'm a pastor's kid. Okay, I had some pretty good familiarity with this story, so this really caught my attention. Okay, again, I'm 15 years old at this time too. And so I check it out. I'm reading through this book. The author is making all these points about how this vision of Ezekiel really could be a UFO sighting. Okay, the saucer that is flying around. And his points that he made were totally ridiculous, all right? This is not what is taking place in the book of Ezekiel. Now, what is taking place in this vision that Ezekiel sees is really God is showing Ezekiel this vision of his glory and his throne. And he's also showing these angelic beings called cherubim. Now, I want you to get out of your mind this picture of cherubim. This is not it, all right? They are angelic beings. They're very powerful. So they're not these pudgy little boys with wings, all right? That's not what's going on here, all right? All right, so again, this is a vision, and it's a symbolic vision. And so this is not what cherubim look like. Again, it's symbolic. And so the face being that of a human, this is intelligence. A lion, they are powerful. Ox, they are serving the Lord. An eagle, they are very swift. And so the job of a cherubim is to really be a guardian for the Lord and to be his throne bearer. Okay, so that is what is taking place in this vision. Again, it's showing these cherubim, these angelic beings. It's showing the Lord's glory. So if you run across a book in the library on UFOs and aliens and how it's tied to Ezekiel, you can just go ahead and pass that by, okay? You are welcome. You do not need to read that book.